Welcome back everybody. Today we're gonna play Deadlock on Bind. Today is day 23 of playing every agent on every map. Today's agent Deadlock is a pretty weird one. Deadlock is a really good agent in some situations, but she also struggles to keep map information for her teammates, which is why she isn't the best sentinel. But if you play her with an info sentinel like a Killjoy or a Cypher, Deadlock is really strong and she is one of the best agents in the game. This is my shop today. I really like the Glitch Pop Dagger and the Doombringer Sheriff and Judge. Sadly I don't have the money for it, but I'll think if I see them in another time when I have some money, I'm gonna buy at least one of those two skins. In my spreadsheet I put Deadlock in as a wall agent, which isn't totally false, but it isn't also totally true, because Deadlock also has traps. The thing is though, her traps don't activate on anything else but sound, so if people just sneak by, your traps are not gonna activate. Starting off with A-side's defense. On A, you can start the round with throwing a wall like this. This is really strong in pistol rounds because your wall has a lot of HP and is really strong against pistols. And when they start breaking your wall, you can then come close here, throw a graph net here. Anyone close is going to be graph netted and you're going to have a free time killing them. Or you can just throw a graph net like this one. At this wall, it bounces and it lands here. Anyone close is gonna get graph netted too. The other option is to just wait back here, throw a graph net like this, and anyone trying to destroy the wall is gonna get graph netted and you can get some free kills. You can also place a trip right here, so it is a little slanted over towards this way, and as soon as it trips, by the way I recommend you have a smoke if you use that trip. As soon as it trips, the people either have jumped down or are coming out running here, and you're gonna have some free kills if you play right here. Other options for trips are something like this, where you play all the way in the corner. As soon as they're close here, they're gonna get stunned. Or trips right here, which stuns most of the main part, where you also play right here. Just wait for the trip to stun, and they're gonna be stunned. Another trip can be used like this. If they start planting here, they're gonna get stunned, and like a raise or just any damaging ability thrown at the default plant spot is gonna get them. Another thing you can also do is a trip like this one. If they go in copy, by the way, you can see the edge of the trip range right here. Make it so it is a little bit out of the wall. If it is in the wall, you're not taking the max amount of space. And if it is out of the wall, the people in the corner are still going to get stunned because they're going to be part of the stun radius. With a trip like this, you do basically achieve the same thing as the other trip over here. But this one is a little more passive. And if they plant right here, they're not going to get stunned by that trip. Another thing you can also do is to put a trip right here. This one is actually kind of broken because it stuns through this wall right here. If they step right here, trying to contact up, or just trying to pre-fire you through these boxes, through here, they're gonna get stunned by the trip and you can just peek out, get 3 kills. You can also combine that with a graph net. They're gonna be stunned and graph netted and you're gonna have 3 kills. Other options for a wall on A are you run here right away. I recommend you have a smoke right here and throw it deep. If you throw it in the smoke, it's going to be hard for them to destroy, and you can take the ult door for free. Other options is to just throw a wall right here in the middle. Like this, they just gonna have to break this one though, so it isn't worth as much. That's why I recommend you use a wall further behind, right here, around this part. Because like this, they have to destroy this and this part or the middle part to get through. If you just throw a wall like this one, they're just gonna have to destroy this edge part they can walk through. So always remember, if you throw a Deadlock wall, throw it a little bit deeper in, so they have to destroy at least 2 of the thingies in the edge. Other options are, if you're coming for a retake and you hear them planting, you can use a graph net like this to keep them planted, or like keep anyone in this vicinity here low, crouching. And if you combine that with a Brim ult, it is really strong. If you combine that with a Raze ult, it's really strong because they can't get away. With like almost any damaging ability, this is extremely strong. That's why Deadlock is really good on defense and especially also on attack. Another good trip is a trip right here. As soon as they jump down, they're gonna get hit by the trip, and it is pretty hard to destroy. Almost impossible if you are on top, and pretty hard to destroy if you're coming from here too. One last trip you can also use is a trip like this one, where you play backside, and as soon as they come in right here, they're gonna get stunned by the trip and you can peek out. This is really good because you are pretty safe. You can also play behind triple, and anyone coming in here is gonna get stunned, and you can get 3 kills off of that. You can also combine that obviously with a graph net, just throw it, captures anyone in here in this vicinity, and they're gonna be hit by the graph net. One last stun that is worth using from time to time. It isn't the greatest one because it also triggers if they are over here. Is one like this. As soon as they come out, or if they come out from back here, you're gonna be stunned and you're gonna have some free kills. This one is like I would say one of the not as good ones because of the possibility to trip when the enemies are already here. For your ult, I either recommend to use it in lamps, right here, to clear out lamps, to clear out sight. By the way, I'd recommend you jump so it bounces off of the back. To clear out the copy here, with an ult like this one. To clear out bench with a wall like this one, you can see where it bounces off with a ult like this one. To clear out triple if they are planting there with a bounce like this. And you can also use a ult from heaven like this one to clear out default. I wouldn't recommend you ult down short, because on short there's usually a lot of people, and if you ult like this, they're gonna be able to break the enemy out of the ult really fast, and you're not going to be able to get the trade off of the ult. Starting off with B-side defense. Deadlock on B is a pretty strong agent. With a trip like this that is almost indestructible, if they jump out, they're gonna get stunned and you're gonna have 3 kills. Other options for trips are something like this one, where you place a trip right here. It stuns people close trying to take the ult orb, and it can be combined with a raise nade or something like that. Other trips that are possible is something like this. If they are coming out here and trying to go towards elbow, this trip is really good. Also a trip like this one does pretty much the same thing. It just doesn't stun them if they're in the copy back here. And it is a little easier to shoot, because if you come out here, you can see it when it activates. Another trip you can use is one on default. If they are coming in towards side, you can hide back here. If you see the trip, go off, you can either throw a graph net like this, and then peek out, throw a graph net like this. Does the same thing, just a little deeper and is a little safer, but it is easier to dodge. Or just peek out and then go back in. Other options you have is to use a trip like this one. When they come in, best combined with a raise nade, because this trip stuns anyone in the back. So you can either combine it with a raise nade coming through the TP, or with a raise nade from CT, because anyone getting stunned is probably going to go in this corner or just back here somewhere, or even into main. And if you throw a nade that lands right here, anyone in here is going to take a lot of damage. Other options are a trip like this one, to just stall them out. This trip isn't as good though, because you can't really get any kills off of it. Or another trip for the jump out is a trip right here. They're not going to be able to hear it as easily as the other one, and it is pretty unexpected because they don't hear any of your stuff, so they don't think you're here. Good walls on B are something like this, where you play when you're playing hookah. If a wall like this is gonna take them a lot of time to destroy. And it can also be combined with a graph net. If you throw the graph net like this, anyone in the close vicinity trying to break it is gonna get trapped. By the way, your graph net is really best combined with either any other util or your own wall if they are breaking it. And don't use it as an information tool, just use it as a way to stop people in certain spaces, because it is better than any slow or any stun, because they really can't get away from it. Another good wall is a deep wall like this one, where you don't give them the option to come below here, because of the wall like this. They gotta destroy 2 parts of the wall. For example, right here, they can't go through here, so they gotta destroy this one as well. And you can also combine that with a graph net from here. Maybe even a brim ult right here main, when you hear them trying to break the wall. Or another wall you can use is something like this one. This one is more so they don't TP right away, so you can hold them for a longer time on long, and your team has time to rotate over towards A or rotate over towards B, whether they are coming long or not. The thing you can't forget though is that your wall also blocks your teammates. So if you throw a wall, throw it in a place where you don't think it blocks your teammates. For example, this wall right here is good if you want to stop the enemies from TPing, but it also holds you from TPing. So it is a decent wall, but it isn't a great wall if you think they are trying to fast rotate and you want to TP behind them. Now let's look at some B ults. For B, you can ult from elbow like this to get the planter. If you know they are planting, you can get them off the plant. This is especially good if they don't have a lot of time, because you kind of pull the planter towards you. And they gotta break him out. If they don't break him out, he's gonna die. That was added in one of the latest updates for Deadlock. Another thing you can do is, as soon as you hear the stun sensor here trigger, or this one trigger, you can use a Deadlock ult like this to get anyone being close here. Or you can use one like this one, where you aim in this corner, and anyone in the copy close or in main here close is gonna get grabbed by the ult. By the way, an ult like this one in the beginning of the round is really bad, because first of all, there's so much space down here, so they can go into different directions. And second of all, if you decide to ult a little closer, there's gonna be like 4 people on long, and they're gonna break that guy out of the ult instantly. So don't use an ult, use your ult like this. Better options are to use your ult from backside like this. If there's a smoke in main, it isn't it isn't like the best ult, but it is a one you can use, because they are gonna get pulled out of the smoke in main fast enough so you can easily trade them. Or other options are something like this, where you aim at the roof, so it just bounces inside of hookah, and anyone in hookah is gonna get pulled out. There's also a small problem where they can try to get the person out the ult in hookah, but most of the times it's worth to wait for them to jump out and then ult. By the way, in a 1v1, it's almost never worth ulting if you don't have any info. If you know somebody is trapped behind here, behind the boxes, you can ult like this to get them instantly. But if you have no information and you ult, you are gonna have your ult out. You can't shoot back. If they peek you, you can still get them with your ult, but like they can kill you first. So it isn't as good as some other ults. And you're also kind of giving them an easy fight, because you are not able to shoot back. If you know where they are, if they are stuck in a corner, go in close to a corner yourself, pop your ult then, and then shoot your ult. Switching over towards attack. It might sound counterintuitive, but a Deadlock, in my opinion, is stronger on attack than she is on defense. Because on attack, you decide to hit one side. As soon as you got that side, you can use your stun sensors on the side to get even more value out of your kit. You can also use your wall to block off enemies from reaching certain spaces. This is really good, especially if you go A. If you go A, you can either use a graph net like this, you can use a graph net like this one here, or even throw it even deeper in to make anyone in lamps sit so they can't really peek out. And you have a free time planting site, not really having to worry about the space right here. You can also use a wall like this one, throw in backside, it isn't even that precise, to just block off this space right here. You don't need to worry about the two-part thing on attack, because most of the times the people are gonna be rotating in, and the wall is gonna be fully up already, and it's mainly good to get the spike down. Other options for a wall is a wall like this one right here, blocking off the backside. This one is especially good because it also kind of blocks backside rotates, so they have to come either through here if they want to go through backside, or they gotta go out of heaven, so you can have somebody holding from here and the other guy holding from here, just space so they can't really go out. Or you can use a wall back here. If you decide to plant triple, they are not going to be able to push you from this side, and you're going to have a free time just holding them from this side here. Another fourth option is a wall like this one. I don't really like that wall. If you throw it right here, it's going to block off anyone from coming in here, but it is also kind of risky going in here and getting the wall down. And you can use a stun sensor like this one. If you place it right here, anyone coming in is gonna get stunned and you're gonna have free kills on them. That's why I don't recommend you use that wall, because the wall, the stun also stuns back here, and you can't really go through your wall to get the people that are stunned. Other options for your Deadlock graph net is a graph net back here. Anyone hiding behind triple is gonna get graph netted. This is really good to combine with a race nade or a brim ult too. Or you can even throw it farther back if you come out of showers and throw it back here. And then brim ult, because most of the people expect you brim ult lamps if you have a brim ult. And if you brim ult backside, the people hiding backside are gonna get brim ulted pretty easily. And if you have a graph net right here, anyone in this vicinity has no chance of getting out because of the brim ult. This can also be combined with your ult. If you hear somebody trying to get out of the graph net right here, you can just throw a ult like this and you're gonna have a free kill on them. In general, it is pretty good to also have a stun sensor on the spike. As soon as they are tapping the spike, they're gonna make some noise and they're gonna be stunned. So you have a easy kill on the people trying to defuse. Try to put your stun sensors in places where people have to come through. For example, if you put one right here, especially if there's a smoke right here, as soon as they are trying to entry back in, they're gonna be stunned by the stun sensor, and it is pretty hard for them to get into sight. Do not use your stun sensors on flank, because the enemies can just sneak past it, and you're rarely ever gonna get any value off of the stun sensors. Use your stun sensors on sight to hold the sight. Don't use them for information. You can use stun sensors like these, even one like this one. When you plant close here, they're not gonna see that stun sensor and then they're gonna get stunned. Ones in lamps like these two here, this one, or even this one. If you are not in this space right here, you can use a stun sensor like this one, especially if you go short. You're gonna know as soon as somebody walks out there, they're either gonna destroy the sensor or they're gonna get stunned. Other stun sensors you can use is one right here if you think they're trying to push you in short. One right here if you don't have any teammates in cubby and the enemies are trying to go towards cubby. A stun sensor like this one if you planted a triple right here. If they defuse, they're gonna get stunned. Same way a stun sensor like this works. You can also place one right here or on the other wall right here if you plant it in front of here, or even one like this one if you do the really safe plant over here with maybe a sage wall or something. A stun sensor like this will work. By the way, I don't recommend you use your ult to clear out spaces. I recommend to use it if you know somebody is in a certain spot. For example, if you have a Raze or maybe a Cypher always playing here, close in lamps or even in lamps itself, it is worth to use a ult like this one here to clear out lamps itself, or use a ult like this one to clear out the close part of lamps. Or if you know somebody is backside, right here somewhere, you can use a ult like this, or a ult like this to clear out the backside. If you know people are bench or showers, you can use a ult like this to clear out bench. Or use a ult like this one if you're deciding to go for the plant to clear out showers. An interesting thing about the ult though is that you can also put your ult through the TP. If you put it like this, anyone that's went through the TP recently is gonna get caught by the ult. And you're also gonna ult the people in hookah. This is only worth it if you're trying to go for a TP play. Switching over towards B side. On B side, you can use your graph net close here to catch anyone that is in hookah on the left side. If you hear them taking out the thing, you know they are there. You can then use a race boombot to clear out this side. They gotta shoot the boombot so you have information on them and you can then just try to pre-fire them. Or even if you see the arm of them, you can bang them through the edge of the thing right here. Another graph net you can use is a graph net like this one to mainly catch the people in the front part of hookah. You can also combine that with an ult to clear out hookah. Both options are pretty good. But in general, I don't recommend you go hookah. By the way, something I also seen some Deadlock players do is a wall like this one if you know they're gonna TP. This wall is pretty annoying, especially for a retake. If your team is in hookah, you as a Deadlock are in hookah yourself, you're blocking off the TP play, and you're also blocking off the people from coming flank. This is really good if you don't have a flank watch and your team is already planting, because your wall is gonna hold a really long time, and the people that have to TP have to break either this one and this one. the center part, or this one and this one. And if they are flanking, they have to break at least one of them. And you know they could be coming from behind. Let's say you're going long though. On long, it's worth to use your graph net right here. Especially if you hear them taking the old door right here. They're gonna be trapped and you're gonna have a free time killing them. You can also save your graph net to throw it backside through the smoke right here. Just throw it in this vicinity. Anyone in backside is gonna be caught by the graph net, even people playing close here in tube. And it is a really strong util to keep people in backside, not being able to peek out from backside. And if you can combine that with a Brim ult or a Raise Nade, Raise ult, or just any damaging ability, the enemies are gonna take a lot of damage. Another good combo is a Gecko Mosh, like the Gecko Molly. Because the people gotta get out of the mosh, because the mosh does full health damage. And they're gonna have to take out your graph net. And taking that out takes some time, and they're not gonna have enough time to get out of the mosh, so they're just gonna die to it. Another graph net that is pretty strong is a graph net like this one. This graph net catches anyone inside of tube, and some people backside too. So if you know there's a Cypher always playing here, he's gonna be stuck, and your team can just come push him from two sides. Because if he is here, he has to hold either this side, remove the graph net. You're gonna hear it, you can just push him, and he can really hold from here and here. Or you can also just use a Raise Nade or just any damaging util to clear him out. You have three really good options for your wall. One option is to throw it in elbow right here, to block off the people from coming out of elbow. Another option is a wall like this in CT to block the people from coming CT or even going elbow. And the third option, if you decide not to take hookah and if you just decide to smoke hookah, is to throw a wall in hookah itself to block the people off from coming in. Even if you wall like this, they can't jump over the wall from the part here. They're gonna be stuck. You can get people stuck in this corner and then just bang them from sight. If you know somebody is in that corner right here, just shoot all the way through. You're gonna do a lot of damage to them and they're gonna have a hard time coming out. You can also trap the people on the other side, which is pretty good. Do not throw your wall in hookah if your team decides to come through hookah, because then you're just blocking off your team and it's really bad. And also don't block off elbow if your team wants to go elbow. Always ask where your team wants to go, or which space they want to take. If they want to take the elbow space, you can use your wall in CT. If they want to take hookah and front side, you can use your wall in elbow or CT. If they don't want to take hookah, you can use your wall in hookah. If they want to take CT, I'd recommend you just keep your wall, maybe even put it on the spike, so the enemies are gonna have a harder time to get towards the spike. For post plants, you can do similar setups as on defense. If they decide to TP, you can use a stun like this to stun them if they are coming out. You can also use a stun right here close towards CT. One in copy if you're not playing it yourself. Also one backside. If they're trying to come out backside, they're gonna be stunned and you're gonna have a easy time killing. And you're gonna have an easy time killing them. One in elbow, like this one. Also one like this one. If they decide to come towards long, if they are close here, they're gonna get stunned. Obviously one on default. If you plant right here. Also one like this. If they decide to plant, if your team decides to plant right here, they're gonna be stunned. You can then either use one like this, or one below here, or one here. There's a million options you can use with the stun sensors. You can't really do anything wrong. Just place it in a space where you think the enemies are gonna take, and you can get a easier time on the post plan. Also one like this works pretty well because people are most likely gonna go backside. Don't put it somewhere where your teammate plays, or if your teammate sets to go somewhere where a stun sensor is, tell them careful, there's a stun sensor. If an enemy walks into it, you're gonna get stunned as well. Just always give out the information where your stuns are. If I had to give Deadlock a rating on bind from S to F, I'd give her the A tier. Whatever she loses with information util, she makes up with post plant util. Her util is really strong, she's insanely good for taking sides. She is also pretty good at holding sides, which makes her a valuable pick on this map. She isn't quite S tier, because S tier would be a Cypher that has more information, but still she is one of the better agents. By the way, I'm not 100% sure if I can upload tomorrow and the day after that, because I'm gonna celebrate Christmas, and I'm not sure if I find the time to fully edit a full new video and record one. If you don't hear from me the next 2 days, don't be sad. I will be coming back. Next video is gonna be a KO guide on Ascent. Thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to come say hi to me on Twitch, where I stream almost daily. By the way, yesterday we played against Horcus, the Spanish Chambermain. It was a pretty fun game. Some of our team thought he was cheating, but cheese to him. He won against us. Have a nice day and see you guys soon. Bye!